We got about 297 tons of poppy seed. If you break that down, ONDCP believes that we have about 157,000 hectares growing here in Afghanistan. If you take all these poppy seeds that we have, it takes about 15 kilos to grow 1 hectare. So if you break that down with the amount 297 tons, we would have about 11,000 hectares, which would be spread and would be growing poppy. So you break that down a little bit further, 157,000 hectares in the country. 18,000 is what we disrupted today. That's about 11% of the poppy grown here in the country. So that is that's significant. If you break that down to liters, we got over 4,000 gallons. You break that down into liters, we got, I think it's about 14,000 or so liters. You break that down, it comes to over $8 million. And what's significant about that is unlike selling heroin, selling morphine, where a lot of times the traffickers will front the drugs, let the drugs go, and then once it's sold, the drugs will come back. These chemicals, it's always cash up front, so somebody is going to be out $8 million, which is going to be significant. And we got some heroin, some finished product of heroin. We got a decent amount of opium. We got a lot of hash, and of course the chemicals, like I said.
In unison, as you folks know, with the second MEB, we had planned to raid these bazaars for multiple reasons, from finding HME material, IED material, narcotics, precursors to produce heroin. So there was a multi-faceted goal to hit these two bazaars up in Lakari and of course here in Safar. As we cleared both bazaars, we found what we thought we'd find, from chemicals to IED material to HME material, and the very things that are affecting our troops and of course harming the troops as they come through Afghanistan and clear the Helmand area. Of course, one of the finds for us from a narcotic perspective was a total of 297 tons of poppy seed. Only time will tell how that will affect the yield from this coming year, but it's significant in its own right. Found several hundred liters of acetic anhydride, a main chemical used to finish the heroin product, and which is a huge find for us. We figure acetic anhydride goes for anywhere from $500 to $800 a liter here in Afghanistan, which makes it a pretty hot commodity to finish the production process off. So overall, it was a good few weeks for the MEB, the Marine Corps, and of course the DEA, who were allowed to come in here and assist them on the exploitation of these bazaars.
Well, the raid that was done here in Safar Bazaar, Garmshire District, was meant really to disrupt the Taliban insurgents there in southern Afghanistan. It really was meant to disrupt both physically, remove them from this area that the people use, psychologically take something that they consider a stronghold, because it's how they raise revenue through the use and sale of, well, not the use, but the sale and development of narcotics, and finally financially disrupt them from that stream of finance and income. For us, the real reason we're here is that there's a nexus between the narcotics trade in Afghanistan, the insurgency, and most importantly for us right now, the production of improvised explosive devices. And indeed, here not only did we find poppy, processed heroin labs, we also found IED making material, cell phones, electronics, homemade explosives, and indeed I think the damage we've done to both the narcotics network was also done against the improvised explosive device network that the Taliban used. The MEB's mission here as part of ISAF was really to secure the population, separate them and protect them from the insurgency that the Taliban brings, the terrorism that they bring to the families in Afghanistan, and then allow them to really participate not only in the upcoming elections but overall governance here in Afghanistan. To do that, they need security. They need a feeling of stability, the feeling that they're not going to get intimidated by the Taliban to grow and process things like opium, And really that's a security mission that we're bringing. We're also here to support the Provincial Reconstructive Team to bring governance and services and developmental programs like irrigation, canal systems, micro electrification, education, clinics. So we're here also to support the Provincial Reconstructive Team's efforts to bring that level of services to the people of Afghanistan.